never wanted to be a dad. Never. Fatherhood,
That's
being a
crazy.
parent was looked at like, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
You have to take care of actual people.
Right.
The inner voice that you carry that says all these mean things to you in your head that you grew up with spills out onto your children because you've never raised yourself.
Our dads were physically present but emotionally absent.
Nah, that's standard.
Yeah.
That's not just an Ethiopian thing.
And he actually like came up to me, got on his knees, and with tears in his eyes asked me to forgive him.
Yo.
We have Jesus in our hearts, but grandpa in our bones.
Woo. That's a bar.
Everything in him wanted to go back.
Yes.
It's because like the familiar, as broken as it was, seemed more comforting than the unknown.
You are called to love someone who may not trust you.
Yeah.
And if you think about it,
Man.
that's how we see God.
That's so real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how Jesus sees us. Like,
Right.
he loves us. We don't trust him.
Right.
What is up, everyone? We are back with another episode of Shaping the Culture. Shaping the Code.
What is up, everyone? We are back with another episode of Shaping the Culture podcast. I hope all is well with you all, family. Listen, we have a very, 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 very special guest with us today. This is a brother I've been tuning into for some time. I knew him back when he was a part of Dream Junkies.
All right, that's early.
This is I Got the Juice.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody got it. Lord Jesus.
This man has been someone who has blessed me personally for a minute, maybe like more than a decade at this point. Wow. And his life has been an example to me. His love for his family, for his children, the example he's been as a Black father has been incredible. And now, beyond the music, the poetry, the YouTube, he's an author.
Come on now.
He's a writer.
Graduate.
You know what I'm saying?
Upgrade me.
We got
You know
the
what I'm
one and the only Mr. Glenn Henry with us.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing well. Especially like that I'm in the presence of people who care and who know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's dope. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited for this conversation. And you're a great conversationalist. Like something I peep watching you is like you can articulate your thoughts well. You've got a lot to share. And I've been looking forward to this. So
Thank you.
This is awesome. Real quick, before we kind of jump into the conversation, as we just said, you are a new author. You've got a book called Father Yourself First.
That's right.
I wanted to ask, what inspired this book?
Man, I never wanted to be a dad. Never. Fatherhood,
That's
being a
crazy.
parent was looked at like, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
You have to take care of actual people.
Right.
So growing up in Baltimore, you just didn't see a lot of people that embraced children.
Yeah.
Children were to be seen, not heard, were to be tolerated. They didn't have a voice, you know, and they kind of were expected to grow up and then have a voice. And I just was not looking forward to that at all until I stepped into a household. A friend of mine, Pat Lynch, he's a pastor out of San Marcos, and he allowed me to just come into his home and hang out with him and his family. He had 5 daughters at the time, and I just was overwhelmed with the amount of harmony. And for the first time, I believed I could do this. And then once I became a father, I was like, oh, all I needed was proof. Maybe other people need proof. And so I knew that the book was really important, but the videos would lead to the book. And so this has been a work in the making for like 10 years.
Wow. That's so real. This is why representation matters and examples matter, because it changes the narrative and it helps us see things differently.
Yeah.
What outside of that example, because when I've seen the YouTube page, I've seen the different episodes and the posts that you've made, it feels effortless. I don't know. I'm like, man, I feel like he was born for this. Like he knows what he's doing. He loves this. And so to hear like you didn't want to be a father, it's kind of like, dang, like how did you would never know that was the behind the scenes or what have you. Once you became a parent, you became a father, was it different than what you thought it would be? Like how does it, I don't know.
Well, I think you try to get as much information as possible.
That's right.
Okay. You may have watched the Cosby Show growing up.
Yeah.
You may have seen some examples in your neighborhood, but you didn't really peer into what was happening to the parent.
Right.
And I had very low expectations. I thought I was going to be teaching, and my focus would be helping the kids understand basic things about life.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it all flipped when I started learning lessons in fatherhood. Let me tell you something.
Come on.
The one of the first lessons I learned
Yeah.
was how to be still. All right. So when you have a baby,
Yeah.
and all they need is a warm body,
Yeah.
and like just closeness,
Yeah.
you realize that it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
Right? It's nothing to do. You're
Right.
literally just sitting there holding a body, making sure it doesn't fall apart.
Yeah.
And so that gift is God teaching you about stillness
Yeah.
and marveling at his creation.
That's good.
And that's the first lesson. So when you start learning lessons early on
Right.
in your journey as a father, you're like, oh, I wonder what else there is.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I don't think anyone would believe me if I told them. So I got to film it.
Right. Yeah. That's
I
real.
got to show everybody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so I had this whole experience to where I thought I was going in and I was going to be given something.
Yeah.
I was going to be giving something, but I was given so much. And so my expectations were super low, but they were actually life altering.
Yeah. I love that. It makes me wonder, is that the inspiration behind the title, Father Yourself First? Because it sounds like it's in these moments you're intentionally slowing down and trying to pick up on. Of course, you've done the lesson, the work, and you've learned as much as you can before. But it sounds like it's like in actually holding the baby and being open to what you wanted to learn, what you needed to learn, that these lessons started to come. Like, where did you get the title Father Yourself First?
The title came like later, like super late in the game.
Okay.
I think that what happened was I started to have conversations with my therapist, and he would ask me questions like, you know, I'm like, man, I can't believe I screwed up. I messed this up, and I'm so disappointed in myself, and I should have done better.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's so interesting. It seems like you have more grace for your children than you have for yourself. And I was like, yeah, well, they're kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, but you are a part of your family, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, you deserve that same grace too. And I realized that I was a better father than I was anything else. And so what happens is when someone goes, man, you're such a patient dad, you realize that that characteristic should go throughout your humanity. You shouldn't just be a patient father.
Right.
It's easy to be patient to a baby.
Right.
Well, actually, sometimes it isn't. That's a lie. It's not easy to be patient
Yeah.
with a baby. But you are more willing to be patient because you understand that it is a baby.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So then the question is, what happens when that's no longer a baby?
Yeah.
And the inner voice that you carry that says all these mean things to you in your head that you grew up with spills out onto your children because you've never raised yourself. And so Father Yourself First is me taking the things, the grace, the love and support that I have for my children and applying it to myself.
That's good. I love that. I remember one time I heard somebody talking and they were just like, if you were to ever say out loud to someone else what you would say to yourself, you would be looked at as really rude, abusive,
Yes.
inconsiderate,
Manipulative. Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, why don't you talk to yourself in the way you talk to someone else? What has that process been like as you're parenting, as you're stepping into this role as a father? Was that an automatic, oh, okay, let me now just be patient with myself as I'm patient with, or like, did you have to do deep work to actually change the way you spoke about yourself to yourself?
Yeah, man. Like, because it was, you know, I early on in my life, my earliest prayer to God was that I asked him to take my life.
Wow.
My first prayer, my first, I wouldn't say my first prayer because, you know, you like pray over the food and stuff like that. But like the first time I cried out to God, I was asking him to take my life because I didn't understand why I had started to get hit all of a sudden. It was so crazy. And so, and that's kind of taking me back right now. Let me think real quick because I've almost forgot the original question. So because I struggled with self-harm at such an early age, that voice was massaged into my upbringing. So by the time you start praying that at 9, when you're 19, any little thing, it's like, man, I might as well just go ahead and end this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And so it is something that I was pretty adamant about. Like I even asked, I was like, man, can I get hypnotized out of this? Like I was, because my thoughts were so dark.
Yeah.
And I couldn't control it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I started to think about who's responsible for this voice. Is it my mom's fault? Is it my dad's fault? Is it? And I'm like, well, I'm the only person in control here. And so I had to truly cry out to God that he would help me change my inner voice and replace it with other voices. And so
That's good.
I've borrowed other voices that are kind to me. I've borrowed other voices that hold me accountable, that challenge me. And they all formulate, you know, the voice I use as a father to my children and a father to myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. In our church, we're reading through the book Live No Lies by John Moore Comer, and he talks about that. He's like, a lot of the thoughts that we have are rooted in lies, and one of the ways we can start walking in freedom is if you take that lie and you measure it with the truth. Ooh. And you start to believe the truth over the lie. You know, a really good piece of advice, you know, a friend of mine gave one time was, don't listen to yourself, speak to yourself.
Yes.
Think about what you're thinking about.
Yes.
Taking every thought captive.
Yes.
Yeah. And that sounds like that's what you've been able to do. It's like you've been able to borrow different thoughts, different ideas about who you are and replace them.
Yeah, it's really the voices.
Yeah.
It's the voices. My therapist costs $300 an hour. If I had a problem, it would cost $300.
Yeah.
He's very gracious with me. You know what I'm saying? Good dude.
Yeah.
But I had to be like, I got to save myself some money. So let me talk to me like he talked to me.
That's a word.
He's a good guy, a strong man, but he also cares a lot.
Yeah.
And so I have to ask myself the whole thought. I have to say the whole thing. Yeah. And so like today, right? I'm having a book signing, and no book showed up. Okay, so my first thought is, man, this is corny, this is whack, this is gonna go terrible. This is dumb. This is always happening to me. Right?
I'll be having the same thoughts.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, and then I go, okay, well, Glenn, finish that thought, please. What happens when that happens to you? What do you do? Man, usually I flip it and try to turn it into something positive. Okay. And why do you do that? That's because that's what I always do. Right? That's who you are. You see the problem and you solve the problem. Yeah. You know, and if it doesn't work out, it's still fine.
Right.
So I have to that's how I have to talk to myself right in the moment.
Right.
Because otherwise I go, oh man, I'm nervous. Then I start dealing with anxiety.
Yeah.
Then I start dealing with like, when people see me, like I don't expect them to be there. I start apologizing, over apologizing, and then being like, "Thank you so much for showing up for me." You know what I'm saying? It's not even like that, man. Like, man, we here, you here.
Right.
You smell good, you look good. Like we just want to hug each other and take a picture. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. I love that. You know, that reminds me. So I studied psychology in my undergrad.
All right.
And I had the opportunity to study at a Christian university.
All right.
And so those two things coming together really served me well.
Okay.
And in my lifespan psychology course, I remember my professor said something that I think about till this day. And he said that a lot of how we relate to God starts, or it begins with how we relate with our earthly father.
Yes.
Because our earthly father is the first representation for us of what a father should be like.
Yes.
And so, you know, growing up Ethiopian, I don't know how familiar you are with the Ethiopian culture.
I'm not very familiar.
Okay.
Teach me.
I got you.
Okay.
So our dads were physically present, but emotionally absent.
Oh, that's standard.
Yeah.
That's not just an Ethiopian thing.
Yeah, it's like across the board. Yeah. And so when my dad would come to the house, you know, we've grown, and, you know, thank God that God has redeemed that relationship. But like when he would come, the only thing he would ask me about is like, did you get your chores done? What'd you get on the quiz? What'd you get on the test? And did you read your Bible? That's it. And so I grew up subconsciously believing, and these are the lies I would tell myself, is that my dad didn't want a relationship with me, that I wasn't worth a relationship, and that as long as I did what he asked of me, then he's pleased with me, and that's all that mattered. So then now that bleeds into every other relationship. It's like
Yes.
they don't actually care about me. They just want to make sure, am I getting the job done? Am I performing at a high level? Am I doing what they asked of me?
Yeah.
And as
And that's
long
something
as
you thought of that, you're all your own.
on my own, you know what I mean? And it's just like, all right. And it wasn't until that lifespan psychology course where I was like, oh man, I got to change things. I got to start thinking differently.
Yes.
And I've got to realize that this isn't healthy, and this is not normal. It shouldn't be normal. I wanted to ask you, like, as you kind of navigated fatherhood.
Hold on, can we stay here for a little bit?
Yes,
Because
yes.
I want to kind of
Please.
care for you in this moment.
Yeah.
Because I recognize some things that are very interesting. Some people talk about balance, and they're talking about like how life should be balanced. And I think about what balance is like if you look at a triple beam balance, it stays at 0. Okay, and so it seems like your dad was just trying to stay neutral.
That's right.
He was like, okay, did you do anything that warrants me disciplining you? No? Cool. We ain't got no problem then. I'm going to keep moving on.
Yeah, that's right.
And I just think that's interesting. I want to know how you got yourself out of that.
Yeah.
Because you said it was, you noticed it in this class.
Yeah.
But how did you do it?
You know, I was fortunate enough to have a father who is sensitive to the spirit. So when I did go off to college, I just stopped coming home. You know what I'm saying? I stopped
Yes.
making phone calls.
Yeah.
And it clicked for my
Good
dad.
old avoidance.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Get me the heck out of here. You don't even want me anyways, right?
Yeah.
So, funny story. Actually, one summer, in between my freshman and sophomore year of college, I was like, let me try to work at this is called Valley Fair. It's like a Six Flags, and they offer like housing. And so I was like, I don't want to go back home after being in the dorms. So let me just, stay as far away as possible. But what ended up happening is my dad peeped that, and so one day he, I was at home. He came down, knocked on my bedroom door, let him in, and when he was coming down, I was like, all right, what does he want now?
Yeah.
What is he gonna ask me to do? Does the kitchen need to be clean? Whatever it is. And he actually like came up to me, got on his knees, and with tears in his eyes asked me to forgive him.
Yo.
Ain't that wild?
It's wild. It's wild, but it's also his greatest weapon. Parental humility,
Yeah.
being apologetic. There's nothing more valuable.
Yeah.
You were in college.
I was in college.
Took a while.
Yeah.
Took a while for him to do that.
Yeah.
But I get it. But I'm glad that he did that.
Yeah.
That's honoring you in a whole nother way.
Yeah.
How did you receive that?
I didn't know what to do with it initially because
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. But later, hindsight is 2020. I was like, man, that was really healing for me.
Yeah.
I didn't have that language then, but now looking back, it was what I needed. And as I was engaging in conversation with him, he gave me some context that was really helpful. He said, when I was growing up, my dad didn't want a relationship with me. And I remember telling myself that when I have my kids, I won't do that to them. And he's just like, but I didn't have the tools. And so I hated that I did to you what my father did to me, but I didn't know how to break the cycle because I did what I knew to do. And that was provide the income so you have food on your plate, shelter over your head. And he's just like, me asking about chores, your faith, your academics, that was my way of trying to like raise you right so that you would be good when you went off.
Yeah.
But he's like, I wanted a relationship with you. I just didn't know how because nobody taught me how to have a relationship with my kids. I didn't have that. And that just brought a whole new level of empathy. That was the first time I saw my dad as a human. And I was like, oh, this is a person, And so that's kind of like what broke it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, sorry.
No.
Your question.
Yeah,
I just had to know that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Well, that's kind of the direction I was leading towards. It's like, what about your upbringing? What about your experiences led you to, one, not want to be a father, but then two, what did you see that made you feel like, man, I don't have the tools to be a good father? Okay,
so I believe, this is me in my lyrical miracle mind.
Yeah.
I see everything. Like, everything is imagery for me.
Yeah.
So my mom experienced trauma her mom experienced trauma, and those were the tools I was given. My father experienced avoidance, you know, not knowing how to communicate, you know, that's what I was given. So I feel like each of us are given an old school piece of luggage.
Yeah.
Son,
Yeah.
I promise you, you can carry anything in this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Just don't empty it out. There's some things in there that we have for you that we've always had, and they've never really caused too much harm. So just keep them in there.
Right.
But here, son. And I was given that luggage, and I had already start to deal with what's inside the luggage without knowing. It's like a bag within a bag.
Right.
So don't open it.
Right.
You know, you don't know it's maybe heroin needles in there. It could be empty liquor bottles.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Any type of trauma. And it got to the point where I realized that I don't want to go home. I'm never coming back.
Wow.
Right? What you've done to me, you will never be able to do to anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And so I had to open up that luggage, that proverbial luggage, and empty it out and start fresh, empty, and allow my children to help feel what was going to be necessary for them. There were practically children seem, you know, like I said, to be seen and not heard. That's what it seemed like was best for us. And, you know, as a millennial growing up in the 90s. So, you know, I'm an 80s baby, but growing up in the 90s. And then, you know, you're expected to, like, grow a pair of balls. And be tough and be able to survive in America. Right? As a black man. And I'm like, I've been given no tools to survive this lifestyle. I have to, because otherwise I'm just doing what the homies are doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm solving all my problems with my addiction or lust, or you know, my need to be liked or whatever's going on with me. I'm kind of spiraling, and so, you know, I really had to think about who I wanted to become. And choose not to carry some of those things, because I saw the relationship, like as a kid, man, you just, my experience was different. I feel like I was, you know, anytime there was an issue with my parents, I would be the one that needed to apologize, even if I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, that's real.
And so I had a hard time with that. You know, because I would never make my child apologize for one of my tantrums. You know what I'm saying?
That's so real. Yeah.
So
I feel that. I really respect and appreciate how you, in coming to like a breaking point, made a decision that would ultimately better your future. And I think that's like a very, you know, I could see how a lot of us might be at a crossroad. And we're like, okay, I could go this way. This is all I know. This is safe. This suitcase has been passed down to me for generations.
Exactly.
Why break that cycle now? Or you could like look out to the unknown and look at where you've never been before and be like, I know that's unfamiliar, but I decide I want something better. Even if it's unfamiliar. And I just want to honor you for making that decision. And that's not easy to do. That's a very hard thing to do, especially when you're going against everything you know to be true. And I think about, like, you know, the Israelites in the wilderness. Everything in them wanted to go back. It's because, like, the familiar, as broken as it was, seemed more comforting than the unknown.
Oh, can I tell you a story?
Yes, please.
I remember, man. My wife has you know, she was going through some stuff with her family, and she once told me that she'd rather have them broken than not have them at all. And I was just like, yo, that's a solo mission, baby. I can't go with you. Hey, you can't take none of them kids. But if you're going to go ahead and do that,
you go on your own.
You're on your own.
Go with God.
And I had to explain that analogy because it's in the book. But have you ever traveled with your girlfriend?
Yeah, I have.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's packed.
Yeah.
You're packed. You guys like take separate carry-on bags?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're a family,
Yeah.
you take one big carry-on bag that got everything in it,
Yeah.
and then everyone else got their little carry-on bags.
Right.
Okay. So when I leave the house,
Yeah.
the bag is less than 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I get from the house to the front of the line,
Yeah.
it's 52 pounds. So now
Yes.
I open the bag,
Yeah.
and I don't know what weighs 2 pounds.
Right.
So I have to use like a mental scale
Yeah.
to remove whatever is this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like we are carrying things we don't even know.
Right. That's good. That's real. We are. Like, we don't know it. I also, I'm quoting John Mark Comer a lot today, but like,
That's a guy.
Yeah. He says we have Jesus in our hearts, but grandpa in our bones.
Ooh. That's a bar. Is
That's
that
a
from that one
bar.
book you read?
Not Live No Lies. That was another book that he wrote. Or maybe it was Pete Scazzero, Emotionally Healthy Spirituality. One of the two said that. And I love that because he was just like, and me and my friends were actually just talking about this last night. It's like, we don't even know what we're carrying. We've got temptations that were passed down to us from our great grandparents. There was like this study that they did with Holocaust survivors in LA, actually. This is like generations removed. And the same stress hormone that was within the Holocaust survivors had passed down to these like great grandchildren.
Wow.
And so here are these men and women just walking the streets of LA and triggered and don't know why. They don't know that the same stress that their grandparents, great grandparents carry is now in them. And I just think I think about how, like, man, there's so much to, I used to be very like on me about like, why are you like this? Why do you respond this way?
Yeah.
Why aren't you kind here? Why are you impatient there? And unfortunately, you just go in the church and they're like, repent and do better,
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm trying to do better, but I feel like I'm fighting against things I don't even know are up against me.
Yeah.
Like, what did it look like for you to like actually get to the airport and like, okay, this is heavy. This got to go. That's,
Yeah.
I can't carry that with me into what God has.
You got to identify what it is. And the hard part is that we want the people, we want to like say it and still honor the people that caused the trauma. And we also want them to agree that the trauma actually happened. And that is
That's
not
the hardest.
Yeah, because sometimes they be like, man, I ain't do that.
Yeah.
Well, like, that wasn't that bad.
Right,
like, you
right.
you good, ain't you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I realized that relationships got to stand on some foundation of truth. So we both believe the same thing.
That's right.
Here's why it's good to be single.
Break it down.
All right. I'm going to say this. It's good to be single.
Come on.
Because you can operate fully in your gifting. And just work with God, you and your gift.
Yeah.
Just you, God, and your gift.
Yeah.
When you marry somebody,
Yeah.
if they got mommy issues, y'all now got mommy issues.
That's right.
And that's not something you're going to be able to be like, well, just get over that.
Yeah.
No. You married me with this.
Yeah.
So now, if I got 15% of patience
Yeah.
and you only got 50,
Yeah.
right? Somebody got to make up that other 35.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
I'm like, there's holes where that need to be filled in a relationship. And so, I had to start with the truth. Right. When I married my wife, man, I told her everything. I was like, man, I got this issue with my mom. I got $3,800 in debt. I thought she was going to like tell me, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't marry anyone with debt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They don't make them like that no more.
Man. But I tell you this.
Yeah.
She had debt and didn't tell me.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? So anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, she didn't know. She had signed up for like some loans and didn't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm operating and like we have to say, okay, well, this is the truth. This is what we have in front of us.
Right.
What do we want to do about it? how long can it stay? Where's the
Yeah.
boundary?
Yeah.
What is safe?
Yeah.
And once we can, agree on what is true,
Yeah.
like what the true harm is,
Yeah.
then we can like get to a place where we're healed.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we're just having a conversation in life, sometimes I think that we are not only at odds, but in a dangerous situation. So it would be like us standing in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and I'm wearing a life jacket, goggles, and flippers, and like I got all my gear like I'm on a boat.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, bro, we're just in the kitchen.
Right.
And I'm just like, no, you don't understand. The kitchen can be very dangerous.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's so real, though.
So
Yeah.
we have to say, hey, if my wife is feeling like, oh man, something's off, then baby, are you in danger? Do you feel like you're in danger? And putting my family on YouTube, was that
Yeah.
for a season?
Yeah.
My ambition
Huh.
was that.
Yeah.
Not because I did anything wrong, but because her past traumas taught her that
Wow.
sometimes men can lose themselves in ambition. Sometimes men can put their families on a chopping block
Yeah.
because of their ambition.
Yeah. I want to lean into this a little bit because I've heard you talking about this on other platforms, and I just was so intrigued.
Yeah.
Here you are trying to provide as a father
Yeah.
and as a husband for your family. You know what I mean? You're working hard. You talked about how, like, you know, you had your garage and, you know, you're editing videos and then diapers are being thrown in there and you're just kind of like, hey, yo,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a father for your children. I'm trying to take care of you. You know, so a little bit I'm also a content creator.
Sick.
And it's every month that check gonna look different.
Yeah.
And and I'm feeling the burden of that with just being a boyfriend. I can't imagine being a husband and some kids. I wanted to ask you, like, what did it feel like you're doing all that you can to provide for your family, but it's being interpreted as danger?
You know, bro, I'm trying to tell you, that is something that, you know, it's really hard to explain.
Yeah.
Because my wife had to grow. And I could have been like, yo, you need to get with the program. You know what I'm saying? Get down the lane. I don't care what you want right now.
Yeah.
I would sit there and be like, yo, bruh, she would be like, hey, do we have a family business or is our biz the family? Is our business the family? And I'm like, girl, why don't you leave me alone so I can make this money, man?
Do you want to eat or
What are you talking about? Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, but she had been through trauma.
That's right.
And so I'm so grateful that God gave me the space to shut up and not speak my mind, but go to therapy and talk to my therapist. Because
that's good.
I was struggling because I'm like, I only have good for you.
Right.
I only want to see you in the best position.
Yeah.
I only want to see you laid up in a hammock. Like
Yeah.
I only want the best for you.
Yeah.
I want even better for that. I want whatever God has for you. And that's better than I can ever give you.
Right.
This is a means to an end, baby. It won't last long.
Right.
But she's kind of like, yeah, but you work too much. And you didn't go to this birthday party. And so now we can look back and kind of laugh at it, but it cost me a lot.
Yeah.
It cost me momentum. It cost me confidence in myself.
Wow.
You know, it was hard, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah.
Those times were hard. And for people who, like, I know I'm called to love her to completion.
Right.
So she's worth the journey to getting it.
That's good.
Right?
That's
like,
so good.
Now,
Yeah.
the way we are synchronized, the way like we touch, she's a safe place for me.
Yeah.
She believes in me. She trusts me.
Yeah.
It wasn't always there.
Right.
And so I don't really have any words that I can say that's like, if you're going through this, all you need to do is,
Yeah.
I think this is like, it feels like the definition of long suffering. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to just love you regardless.
Yeah.
And so you are called to love someone who may not trust you.
Yeah.
And if you think about it,
Man.
that's how we see God.
That's so real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how Jesus sees us. Like,
Right.
he loves us. We don't trust him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so good. One of my good friends, when he was getting married, you know, him and his wife were having issues, and he's like, man, I just need you to trust me. You know, like, what does it look like to submit to the vision?
Yes, good questions.
Yeah.
Amazing questions.
And
dumb, though. Shouldn't have said that. But, man, talking to me, I love it.
Yeah. But they had to go to their pastor, and like their pastor, oh man, this is so good advice. He sat down, my friend, with the pastor, and, you know, his fiance sitting there, and he's like, hey man, like, how do I get her to like trust me? And he asked him a very important question. He's like, do you love the Lord? And he was like, yeah. Do you submit to him all the time? He's like, no. And he's like, how do you expect a human to trust another human when you have a hard time trusting in God?
Ooh.
You're asking her to submit to you, and you're imperfect, and you won't even submit to a perfect father.
Wow. Dang.
That's when it was like, oh, dang, yeah, I messed up here, you know? So, but I wanted to ask you, because I hear this narrative and this talk in culture today. I know a lot of men, bro, who are like, I don't want to get married until like I've got the business.
Yeah.
I've made it. You know, this is why we're getting married later, having kids later. It's just like, nah. Like, let me like come up, let me build, let me get to the right financial place, and then I'll entertain, because I want to avoid stuff like this. You know, I want to be able to have her come into my life and we just live we like right off into the sunset, you know? What would you say to a man who's unwilling to jump into this fight? Because as difficult as it is, I'm sure it's produced beautiful things.
Yes.
But like, what would you say to that man that's like, I don't want that. I want to make it, and then I'll hop into a marriage and have kids.
Yeah, I talk about this in the book, bro.
Yeah.
When we are on a road trip, I want to get to the destination as fast as possible.
Yeah.
With the least stops we can make.
Yeah.
Potty, I don't care. Like, we just go.
Yeah.
My wife wants to stop and look at every tree that blooms to the west.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my
Ain't
gosh,
nobody
look at
got time
that
for
rock.
that.
That is so cool. Let's get out and take a picture.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, it's a rock, man. Like, keep going. Like, come on now, you know? When she go to sleep, I'll be hauling.
Yeah.
Right? So, then when we get to the journey, and we get to the destination, it's kind of like, oh, great, we're here now. Now we can. But I think that having someone alongside of you during the journey is, it makes the journey a part of the destination.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
Because there are things that happen on the road. And you see, like, most of my videos, you know, have the car sequence. I got 5 GoPros set up.
Yeah.
And I have to sync them up in post.
Yeah.
And all that. You know what I mean? And you get to hear everyone's, like, kind of thoughts, you know. Dad, can I be burned when I die? Like, some stupid questions. I'm like, man, what?
What are you talking about right now?
Just
Yeah.
random stuff.
Yeah.
Like, those, like, that drive makes the destination even more sweet.
Right.
And so
That's good.
I know that there are a lot of men who are successful who are having a hard time finding a woman of quality or someone they can trust or someone who's going to be down. You know what I mean? So I think it's harder because, bro, you're at the top of the mountain looking for someone who could breathe up here.
That's so good.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot of people can breathe up here. They don't know what it costs to get here.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you want the helicopter, somebody at the top, cool, you know. But I think there is something sweet about that, you know, that climb. And also it makes, like, me trust her more because I know that she was with me when I was making $500 a month. And I took her out with a Starbucks gift card, and I was like, all I got is this whatever's on here, and she got her drink and I got me a water, and we went to the pier.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now we go on vacations, we do a lot of fun stuff, you know, we spend some money, but man, like, I don't have a thing in my mind about trusting her.
Right.
Now, there is something, because in the beginning of our relationship, I had an issue when I decided to be a stay-at-home father. Well, she asked me to be a stay-at-home father, and I said yes. And I had this, like, thing about, like, not being, like, feeling emasculated because I wasn't getting any money. She did have trust issues at one part and was like, you know, I need to make money just in case something happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, she's like, yeah, I need to put money to the side just in case something happens to you, like leave me. And I'm like, well, where's my money to the side? You know what I'm saying?
I'm
like,
home with the kids.
Yeah, like no, she had left. She had actually came home.
Oh, okay.
And stopped working.
Yeah.
And so she was home with all the kids now.
Yeah.
And I would end up, being the breadwinner, and she had an issue with that. But it wasn't my fault. So I had to love her through that.
Yeah.
You have to love your partner through their distrust.
That's so real, and that's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that though, because like, in the day and age that we're living in, I think a lot of people, when it comes to fatherhood, being a husband or wife, even, the difficulty is so real that we jump ship, and we don't stick long enough to see what can happen. And I think that as you're speaking, you're on the other side, and you're saying, no, it's more beautiful. Like, if you just get through this, if you love through the distrust, if you love through the lack of whatever it is, there's something that happens on the other side that's beautiful for the individual, for the family, and for the marriage. Can you talk to, like, and I don't know if you like address this in the book or not, but can you talk to like why it's important to lean into the fight and not give up and trust the process?
I think we all have different goals.
Yeah.
When you say trust the process, it almost seems as though you're waiting for your wife or husband to be complete, right? But they will forever be changing. And so it's not that I'm trusting the process, it's that the whole thing is the process, right? If we're supposed to be made into Christ's image,
that's good.
The whole thing is a process,
right?
And so because we're never gonna get there,
right?
You know,
yeah.
And so I think about it like just like I look at my kids, and I talk about this, and this is definitely there's a lot of like scripture placed in the book, but it also the connections, like I'm thinking about it as in fatherhood, and some of it doesn't like make a one-on-one connection.
Yeah.
But I do talk about how, like if we are seen as God's workmanship, his masterpiece,
Right.
I think about like what it's like to like collaborate with a master sculptor, right? If we are God's masterpiece and we are raising children, then we're collaborating with God on a masterpiece. Now we may not be able to actually use the hammer, but he might let us hold something, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Make us think we're doing something.
Yeah, that's true.
But after a while, with your children, the masterpiece starts working with God itself and turning it into what God has created it to be. And you're kind of hands off. And as you're watching the masterpiece work, you also change shape because you're changing. And so
that's good.
I when you say, hey man, that's a part of the process, you trust the process. Like my wife will forever change. She was different when she was a young lady. A professional, a wife, a mother. She's had to be help me grieve my sister. She's had to be a mother of a daughter, and then now a mother of 4 kids, and now, she's talking about perimenopause. So whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? And now I got to figure that out. And so I'm always going to be pursuing this person. There isn't a like, oh, well, are we almost there? Nah.
Right. It's all part of
It's all part of the thing.
That's so real. And I think that like, I'm learning the older I'm getting that the destination isn't as fun as the journey, even though it could seem like the journey is like, or the destination is like where the party's at.
Yes.
And no, I respect that a lot.
The journey's where the party at, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, I feel like I could talk to you for
we could do this for a while.
Yeah. And but I know you're a busy man, you got stuff to do. I got a couple more questions. One of the questions is, what's your favorite chapter in this book, and why? What made it your favorite chapter to write?
Ooh, I mean, I have a chapter called Father Yourself First, and it is that chapter. I talk about the toxicity that I have consumed and I regurgitate to myself. And my biggest fear is that eventually I won't be able to hold it. And like that proverbial liquor, that cocktail that I've like kind of mixed together would spill onto my children, and they would spend the rest of their lives trying to get it out of their clothes. I feel like it's the most poetic part of the book, but I love that chapter because it gets right into it, you know, and it talks about the importance of the message of the book.
I love that. The truth of the matter is, you know, we all are unlearning, and then we have to relearn. But to your point, we can make the unlearning process a tad bit simple by just like taking care of ourselves and fathering ourselves and things of that nature. What do you hope, let's say all your kids, you know, as they're turning 18, what do you hope to see in them and for them as a result of being under your care?
When I before I became a father, I was nervous, and so that's the exact question I went around and asked all the fathers I know. So I asked them, what 3 things do you want them to know? I think as young black children, it is really important for them to like know that they have a right to have joy, and it can be loud.
That's good.
I feel like that is like super important. I even though it's annoying, like the sound of their laughter like echoing throughout the house, you know, the sounds. Like it is a good sound. And whenever I get annoyed, I'm always like, yeah, but this is where they belong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember early on, you know, Yvette will walk in and be like, your son is naked running up the stairs, right? And I'd be like, well, where else is he supposed to be naked at?
Right. Hey, that's a word.
Like, it's the only place for him to be naked and it be safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, let him be naked.
I love that.
So I do think joy for my children, I really would love that. I want them to have their own personal relationship with Jesus. I want them to lean on him, and I also want them to know that they can always come home.
That's good.
They can always come home, and I want them to feel that. Like I don't want them to feel like you or I felt, where like I ain't never coming.
Right.
Man, wait till I get up out of here. You ain't never gonna see me.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Have you visited your family? Do you visit your father?
Oh yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
They actually live in Florida, so I don't see them often. But
Okay.
when I do, it's a beautiful time. And it's funny that you say that. When you say they're always welcome, they can come at any time that they want. That's what my mom says. She's like, our home is still your home.
Yes.
And she tells me, you know, she's like, I wish I treasured you guys more when you were younger, because it goes so fast. And she said, you know, you think that we thought that we had y'all forever, and then, you know, what was a full loud house is empty. And not so. And she's like, it's almost like I would rather have the loud, busy, full house than it to be empty and quiet or what have you. And that's something I'm thinking about too. I don't have any kids yet, but like I want to treasure and I want to embrace every step of the process, because I know like it's fleeting. And you can't hold on to, good or bad, you can never hold on to a season forever.
Oh, can I tell you something?
Please.
Bro.
I love this.
Bro, let me tell you something, man. This is a gem that I ain't never heard nobody say. All right, my wife and I, we were going through it. I was like, I don't trust myself having another baby with you. She was going through it. And I was like, if we have another child, I'm not going to be here. Right. And so I was like, I know we're not going to be able to love each other through that. Like, she would probably be fine, I think, but it's hard for me to advocate for myself anyway. And I just was like, I refuse to. So I was like, I'm getting a vasectomy. You know what I'm saying? Scheduled the vasectomy.
Said, snip, snip.
And she was like, I have to grieve the fact that I'll never have another kid again. That is so sad. Why would you do that? And I was like, all right, fine. Vasectomy's off. Right? And then Uzi, my youngest, wouldn't get off the boob. He wouldn't stop breastfeeding. She was like, man, schedule that. I said, hang. Hello? Yeah, I need 2. Maybe do it twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
run it.
because I'm kind of like, our relationship is so shaky.
Yeah.
I don't want to put another baby into this, and then we end up not making it.
Wow, that's deep.
If I would have known that my wife would have grown, I would have 4 children with this version of her.
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
I was hasty.
Huh.
I didn't give her a chance to grow up.
That's a word. That's a word.
You know, I could have just worked on my pullout game. Pullout game trash.
Yeah.
You gotta know it.
Yeah.
Atrocious. So
I got a friend like that. He's like, this is the last one. 9 months later.
Oops. Nah. Terrible. So I wish I would have given my wife grace to grow. Because, oh man, the way we do life, the way she looks at me. You ever seen a woman? Because I'm like, you looking at me like you don't like me.
Yeah.
And if I'm on stage and you looking at me like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't gonna sell no books.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I needed us to get in sync.
Right.
And baby's only getting away with that. So I think that's one lesson.
Right.
Don't get the vasectomy. You know, if your wife has proof that she grows,
Yeah.
no,
Hold on to that.
Yeah, hold on to it.
I love that because I think for whatever reason, we think that the season that we're in, the people that we are, will last forever. And that's just not the case.
It's not, man. But we emotional.
Yeah.
So we like, I'm taking control of what I can.
Right.
I'm taking control, and this is how I can stand up for myself.
That's so real. Yeah.
Right.
Not knowing that we're doing ourselves a disservice. And no one actually has control. We just have the illusion of control.
True.
And it's just like, you realize that later and like,
Yeah.
if only I had known, you know? Yeah, that's
Very
real.
true.
I wanted to ask, like, as people are picking up this book and reading it,
Yeah.
what is the win for you, Glenn? Like, what are you hoping that people will take away as they read your book?
Well, I'm a gem dropper, so
Yeah.
I drop mad gems
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like during this podcast, you might have seen a couple. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty.
Few.
Right?
Yeah.
But I hope that people would start to consider how they communicate to themselves. You know, and that your father, your mother, whoever it is, you do not have to be what you had. Even though you experienced that and you carry it with you, you can reframe, readjust, and change that mindset.
Yeah.
So that's the hope.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I think that that's a message needed for our time today, especially with like all the voices that we have, social media.
It's a lot. Clouded. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. I remember 2020, I had my first panic attack because I couldn't figure out what voices in my head were mine.
Ooh.
And it was like, 2020 is like everything politically.
Yes.
You know, I'm in Minneapolis, George Floyd. I'm pastoring. Everybody got thoughts on how I should pastor through that. You know, being Ethiopian, our country broke out in a civil war in that year.
Dang.
People got thoughts about that. You know, and then, it's like, do we wear masks? Do we not? Do we come back? Do we not? It's just like, and I was like, who am I leading? Do I even know how I think about this? What do I feel about it?
Do I even have time to think about it?
I didn't have, and so it just kind of like turned into like anxiety that got out of control or what have you. And so I definitely can see how when we kind of can master that, we really live a fruitful and healthy life.
Yeah, and I think the father's voice ultimately, right? Because the hard part is that, yes, I related my relationship with God through my earthly father. I then had to be like, well, if I'm doing that, then I feel like I'm not enough to even talk to God. So now I have to like rephrase.
Dang.
I have to redo that and use my own voice.
Right.
Yo, go talk to your dad.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's real. That's so real. Go hear the voice that matters most.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you so much. I hope this isn't the last time you come on the podcast. I feel like we're just scratching the surface. I feel like so
man, we
much
could
to
have
talk
went in.
about.
We
Yeah,
could have went in for sure.
for sure. Before we wrap up, do you have any last thoughts? Any last ideas you want to share with the people?
Yes, let some people into your house. If you have a good family, if you think your family is something that would be best for other people, let them people in your home. I'm not saying you got to start up a YouTube channel, but people need proof
That's good.
of good life. People need proof of good family, good parenting, good kids. Like, they need to see it.
Yeah.
And so some of us get real passionate about platforms, preaching, podcasts, videos, whatever. But if you're not doing that in your community and letting the people in your home, there's a problem.
That's good.
Okay, let them people in your house. Read John Mark Comer. He has a book, Practicing the Way,
Yeah.
where he talks about having people at their dinner table,
Yeah.
right? And eating with people and breaking bread, buy my book. But whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? Let some people in your home so they can see proof of what the life you think is the good life. Show them what it looks like. And if you can't let them in your home, you might need to adjust your life.
Bars, gems. You just ended that with the gem.
Hey, man, cut.
We love y'all. We hope to serve y'all. I know this served me, and so let it be a blessing to y'all. Share this with a friend or two. Leave a comment. Let us know what stood out to you the most. And until next time, family, peace and grace.
Shaping the Code.